Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing USDJPY holding closer to the levels of 108, and after consolidation of last 2 days on these levels, I think retracement on the higher side is pretty much likely. In that case, we can expect a move at the bare minimum towards 108.5. So, looking at that possibility, we will be trying to see if there are any emerging trading opportunity for the day. If we consider the events which have shaped the market move so far. Of course, the major market mover has been the ECB's monetary policy announcement, and as expected, there were no policy changes. The interest rates were left unchanged at 0%, deposit facility rate stands at minus 0.5%, and marginal lending rate was unchanged, left unchanged at 0.25%. And if we consider other aspect of this accommodative monetary stance, that is the bond purchases, on that front also the ECB didn't really offer anything new to the market participants after conducting bond purchases at the higher rate in the March and April. It has not provided any guidance for the future conduct, and that was one thing which I think left many of the market participants disappointed. And if we consider the Miss Lagarde's commentary on the economy, there also she was pretty much vague, and though she said that she is expecting the economy to pick up in the second half of this year, she didn't really provide any indication of a possible growth upgrade, like the case it was yesterday with the Bank of Canada. And I think that has also resulted in the selling pressure emerging in the Euro USD after it was rising in the earlier hours just after the release of ECB's monetary policy. But after the press conference started, that confidence dampened. And one more aspect which I remember from the press conference, which he talked on, was that for a question asked that whether the ECB will be acting in tandem with the Fed. And to that question, she said that ECB and the Fed currently stand on different footing, and she pointed to the different economic scenarios prevalent in both these economies. So, as a result of that, the ECB is likely to take a lot longer than Fed to start acting on any reduction in the monetary stimulus. Moving on to the US data, we got these initial jobless claims. Now, these claims are hitting the lowest levels of the pandemic, and we are even still now far off from the pre pandemic days, but there is a positive development here. And for last week, the week ended 17th of April, the reading now stands at 547,000, which is a lot lower than the expectations of more than 600,000, and also below the prior release. At the same time, the home sales data was also released, and here there is not much of an uptake, but still, I think the home sales are showing the healthy signs. There is not much growth for this month, but at least compared to last month, the decline is a lot lower. Now let's shift our attention to the technical aspect. First, we will consider the trading opportunities, if any, in USDJPY, and then we'll also consider what has changed for the Euro USD after this ECB's monetary policy announcement. So let's start with the USDJPY's technical outlook first. This is the daily time frame chart, and after the break below these prior swing lows, the USDJPY has traded in a very narrow range, holding above the 107.3 level and hovering in between these 108.3 on the higher side and 107.7 on the lower side. And I think for any sustained move on the higher side, it will be important for the USDJPY to first cross and hold above these prior swing low level, which now stands broken. So for USDJPY, I think next couple of days might be more of consolidation phase, and we are not really likely to see any one-way rally in either direction. It has already declined substantially from the higher side, and it might take its time and consolidate first before resuming any big move. So if we want to trade in today's session, I think on the lower side we have seen the USDJPY finding support, and looking at these price action for most part of this week, we have indeed substantial support on the lower side, and unless and until that stands broken, we can't really expect any big move on the lower side. And as a result of that, I'm betting that it is safer for us to look for retracement than look for a fresh breakout on the lower side. And by retracement, I mean at the bare minimum, these immediate swing high level of 108.5 can be retested by the USD JPY. If we consider these both the technical parameters, the pivot point series as well as the regression curve, both are still pointing to the continuation of the bearishness, and that's the reason I'm not too much optimistic. This is more of a scalping trade, move for retracement possibility, and apart from that we will of course have to wait for the trend change. We will need more of confirmation from technically as well as from the price action point of view, and then only we can look for longer term swing trades. So if you are looking for the key levels to watch out for in today's session, I think on the lower side, 108 should hold for any buy trade to be initiated. So as long as the USD is holding and consolidating 108, we can continue to look for buying opportunity. So this 50 SMA does provide a decisive marker for us, and any buy trade should only be taken above these 50 SMA while keeping the stop loss closer to day's low. I think the stop loss anywhere closer to 107.8 should be good enough if you are going in for the buying opportunity anywhere in the price band of 108.0 to 108.10. So that is going to uh, get you the risk of around 25-30 pips at the max. And on the higher side, as we are targeting the prior swing high, you are likely to get the reward of around 40-45 pips. So depending on the exact entry point, you will have the risk reward ratio roughly in the range of 1 is to 2. And if we see the continuation of this upward momentum, then only I think we can start thinking of any possible move beyond this 200 estimate. But for the time being, the move toward this high, the April 20th high, can be expected, provided the USD JPY doesn't really break below immediate low and it continues and holds to continue above this 108 level. Now, shifting our attention to the Euro USD's technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and here for Euro USD, I had also talked about the possibility of a move on the lower side in a prior session, and not much has changed from that session apart from the fact that we had this sharp move first toward this immediate high around 1.207, and from there onwards it has been equally sharp decline. And looking at the current trajectory, I am expecting the break below 1.200, and if in today's session we see a close below 1.200, I think that is going to open up the window of possibility for the Euro USD to again go lower. And in that scenario, the immediate support is going to be around the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, which stands at around 1.193. So for today's session, see how the price action behaves again after getting closer to this first resistance zone, which has been acting as the support for last couple of sessions. And as things stand, I'm expecting the breakout on the lower side. But until that is confirmed, we will of course have to be bit cautious here. And if we have, as I said, a day close below this level below this R1, then I think in tomorrow's session, once we come back for the European trading hours, we can try to initiate new shorting opportunities while looking for a possible break below this immediate swing low, which is there around 1.195. And as I said, the immediate level can be considered closer to 1.193. Both these technical parameters, the regression curve and the pivot point series, are not overtly bearish yet. But as the price action has now shifted to the lower band of this regression curve, we can expect more flattening of this regression curve in due course of time. And after that only, I think the trajectory is going to change from the medium term perspective. For the time being, we will have to rely on these unfolding purely from the intraday perspective. So for any trading opportunity, a breakout below this immediate low, yesterday's low around 1.200 is going to be crucial. And if that happens, we can expect the further breakout below this 200 SMA. And in due course of time, these week's low, which is just below 1.195, can be retested in coming days, or even if things go well, maybe in tomorrow's session itself. So that possibility remains there, and that is the trading opportunity for us also. And I think if we are shorting it anywhere closer to this, the stop loss can be kept just little above this confluence area of 100 and 50 SMA. These are converging closer to this 1.203 level, and the stop loss just little above that should be good enough. So allow next couple of hours for Euro USD to consolidate first, and after that we will have a lot more clarity on the price front as well of how the things are likely to evolve for the Euro USD, and then we can target the breakout on the lower side below this 200 SMA zone. So that's it from my side for today's session. If you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while utilizing the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you next time. Till then, goodbye. And of course, do subscribe to the Dukas Webinar channel. Thank you.